Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and just leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That might give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, we do have, just double checking, yes, you can see the whole reading. So we have the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups is, hey Stella, are you going to come up? The cups represent love in tarot. This is quite often this card is read as a celebration. It's not, I find this card to be kind of a celebration, but not necessarily specifically for you. So this is talking about three people celebrating. They're lifting their cups in the air, toasting each other, but no one's looking at each other. So they're really not toasting each other. They're toasting something that's happened, something that they feel has gone in their favor here. And, this is, in many cultures, if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, they consider that 7 years bad luck for in your romantic love life. And since the cups are about love, I always think, this is kind of a contradictory card. So we'll see. We do have a new moon tonight, and whenever there's a full moon or new moon, these three are out and about. So we'll see what comes up here. Because sometimes this card can represent a third-party energy in a relationship. I do see we do have this soulmates card, and we have this card. So this is how you're, in Europe in particular, this is how to toast. You look the person in the eye and you show that you're interested in them. Like that, cheers to you, cheers to me kind of energy, not cheers to whatever the heck we just had happen. And so that's the difference right there that I was talking about. So jealousy, this is from my Oracle Tales from the Vector. And jealousy is one of the cards that the paintings, this is actually an ink drawing that's reproduced here, but on canvas, but it is from one of the 26 paintings that I did, or ink drawings that I did from my visions when I was in ceremony in Peru with a shaman. And so this is talking about jealousy. Quite often this card can represent sibling rivalry, if you consider that we're all on the planet together and we all fit into each other. The Russian dolls, they all fit into one doll in the end. And it's kind of talking about that perfect organization. But you can see some of them are side-eyeing each other, like, hey, your cheeks are brighter than mine, or your flower is bigger than mine, or you have more flowers than me. So this can talk about sibling rivalry. And it's also saying, jealousy is a karmic space that we can all fall into for sure. We can even be jealous of our own selves from when, like, maybe 20 years or say 5 years ago, you were 20 pounds lighter and you preferred how you looked back then. You might be jealous of your old self. So this can represent, if you consider us all fitting in together and being part of the global picture, this can talk about sibling rivalry on a very global way, or it can be talking about in individual lives here. We do have the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is talking about love also. So again, this card is talking about some communication or information coming through. The pages would work for the king and queen around 7 to 14 years of age, and they their main task would be to provide communication, like run communication back and forth between people in the palace, and also small tasks, errands, that sort of thing. It sounds like 7 to 14 is very young to start work, but you have to remember back in those days, the life expectancy was half of what it is now. So the pages, would start very early. And it would be a real coup for them. This would be a way better occupation for them than a lot of the other ones that they would end up having to do, dressed in finery and, this would be like a real coup for their family as well. And so the Page of Cups, he understands that there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he has captured this one in this cup. And he is totally focused on that. So this could say someone has their eye on you, or maybe you have your eye on someone. And the age is sometimes significant when the page comes up, because it can be talking about, from the time when you were in elementary school, high school, or maybe even starting college, just moving into the workforce, someone under the age of 21. So it doesn't have to be so much about the age, but it's talking about the enthusiasm people have for getting out there and, approaching life in an optimistic way. I'm going to get out there and go see the world and go do my thing. And this energy is also talking about the communication coming in these days would not, back then it would always be in person. That was the only way they had. But these days it's less likely to be in person and more likely to be a phone call, a text message. This could be, something coming in the post. You might get a delivery of flowers or a gift, invitations to somewhere. This could be even an email coming through. Perhaps you're on social media and someone messages you, or you see an event posted there, you attend it, and then you run into someone and, hey, you catch each other's eye. And it might be someone that you haven't seen since high school, or that, or even elementary school, and you're like, whoa, you grew up. It's that sort of energy. Now, this is talking about some sort of information coming in, possibly about love. It doesn't have to be, but quite often this cup is romantic love. But it could be something you love to do, or something you love to be, or, a family member, or someone that you knew, platonically from, when you were a child, or in that, that time frame. And then we have the Judgment card, and this is talking about God's judgment coming down to the earth. The trumpet is blowing, and the ancestors are literally climbing out of their boxes. They're excited. Justice is here. The descendants are waving across the veil. This card sometimes can talk about skeletons coming out of the family closet, or even Pandora's box being opened. And then we have the Seven of Cups, so we have quite a bit of cup energy here in this reading so far. So this definitely, it's weird though that the cup cards that are out here are a little bit less about love, it feels like, and more for love for life, except for the soulmate one here. We'll see. This can also, and this might be introducing this card, but this one's talking more about having a lot of opportunities in your life. Each of these cups is a gift from the universe, from God. It's talking about, you're like a black hole here. You're sucking all this energy in. So it's saying that this is like destined opportunities for you. But the thing about this card is quite often these opportunities are dressed as challenges. So you have to get through the challenge, and put your own spin on it. Like a black hole, you're the center of your universe, but you need to put your own spin on the opportunity to make a challenge into something that's a possibility. Seeing the possibilities within the challenge, basically. And we have the Soulmates card here. So this is the Two of Cups. It's talking about meeting someone that is, your soulmate, someone on the soul level. Sometimes this is considered to be like a contract that at some point in this lifetime you're going to meet. This is talking about each of these individuals being complete within themselves. There's no need to complete anyone here. This is more coming together because they both have a very strong connection to the Most High. And this is talking about, basically the HSN, Higher Self Network. So very closely communicating on a spiritual level. and also having their masculine and feminine energies very balanced. Sometimes this can represent just you yourself being balanced in your masculine and feminine energy and coming into your own and with God. It just depends your situation. We have the Page of Pentacles, so instead of bringing in a cup, he's bringing in the pentacle energy. The pentacles represent the element of earth, and they also represent the coin. So the pentacle energy is about matters of earth and earthly matters. So this is talking about your health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world, and a focus on the physical. So the thing is, like, you could have all the money in the world, but you might not be living the lifestyle that you want to live. So this is talking about more than just money and, you know, work and that type of thing. It's talking about your lifestyle and whether or not you are living the lifestyle that you desire. And so when the when the Page of Pentacles shows up, he's definitely bringing in some sort of information, communication regarding work or career, possibly. Maybe this is opportunities coming in. Maybe you have had, you've just finished your degree, that type of energy, or you've just taken a course and you are now getting your certification, paperwork, to be able to go out there and do what it is that you've been studying to do. And then we have the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is saying that, yeah, it's been a busy time and your mind has really been working hard. So I can feel that energy coming in, like that when there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of like the energy like this, there's a lot going on and we haven't quite, you know, there's a lot of difference. Like we have cups here, we have pentacles here, and we have judgment already about something and possibly a new love coming in, possibly this, but we have this energy which is not wanting that love to come in out of jealousy, for it seems like. So we have the this person is saying, I need to go and put my mind to rest. This is talking about being caught in a thinking loop and wanting to rest your mind. And you know, he's laying on this bench in the church, and this is talking about meditation and prayer, wanting to put his mind to rest and hanging his mind up on the wall. And I feel this is talking about, like, the swords do represent the element of air, and this is talking about your thoughts. So thoughts kind of running, you know, and in a loop. And so this can represent your subconscious mind, which is formed by the time you're 6 or 7. And it is, you know, when you're a baby, you absorb the energy like around you like a sponge. So your environment and the people that are in charge of your care, you know, you absorb their culture, their religion, their the way they deal with relationships, with money, with work, all of that energy, whatever whatever environment you are in. And we don't have much memory of that, but yet it's very heavily imprinted on us. And so when you think about it, it's kind of the thoughts of the other people that were in charge of our care, not our own, telling us what we were like. Yet when we get really stressed out, that's the first mind that pops up. Oh, the subconscious mind saying, do this, but it's really not necessarily what you would do if you weren't stressed out if you were in your conscious mind. And then we have the unconscious mind, which is your spiritual nature. And it's, you know, a lot of people will say, yes, I'm a human being with a soul, but from the soul's perspective, you're a soul traveling in a human body. And that's your vehicle for getting around the university of life and planet Earth. And if the soul's needs are not being met, the unconscious mind will start arguing with the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, saying, what about me? What about my needs? My needs need to be met as well. And the conscious mind is basically what you can, you know, like that's what you're conscious of. You know, today I came to this church and I'm laying in here and I'm putting my mind to rest. I hung my mind on the wall and I am praying and meditating. I want guidance from God. I want guidance from the universe. I want to know in my heart what to do. And this is talking on the stained glass window is the word Pax, P-A-X, which is talking about peace of mind. And that's basically, I feel, what you're looking for right now. It feels like it's been a busy time. There's been a lot going on, a lot of change, I feel like. And so, we have the information, about something to do with love or something you love to do, and also possibly about your career, which could be the same energy, or it could be this love saying, when the soulmate comes in, it's quite often a romantic love, but it doesn't have to be. So whatever the judgment is about, we have all these opportunities here, but it's kind of like when you have so much information, it can become overwhelming. And it just feels like you're kind of in an energy of not knowing what step to take. So you just did the exact thing you need to do, which is rest your mind. And also remember, tonight, as I'm doing this reading, tomorrow it will be the 15th of June. And we have tonight we have the new moon in the sign of Gemini. And it's exactly talking about this energy. It's talking about, like, Gemini is very quick-witted and very logical. And right across the wheel from Gemini is Sagittarius, and it is very, Sagittarius is more about intuitive knowledge. So if you combine the two, then you're more likely to be able to come to creative solution here. And we have, so there is some disappointment, remorse, and regret about love. This is crying over spilt milk. We have 3 cups spilt, 2 have wine, and 1 has another liquid. Sometimes in romantic love, this could represent a third-party energy. And we also have 2 cups standing behind us here. So this person is in regret and remorse for whatever has happened here. But he has to accept this as a loss. It's kind of, and it's interesting because we have these 2 silhouettes, like representing like black hole energy, like being in this, like really in the center of this energy. So there's regret and remorse. Now, if this was a third-party involvement in a romantic situation, this could be your energy, it could be your partner's energy, and it could even be the third-party energy. So, and sometimes this card can represent someone who's a third-party energy. And this is talking about, really, this is a loss. There's not much you can do. What's been done is done. But the best thing you can do, instead of standing there, you could stand there for the rest of your life, but, eventually you're going to have to move, and to stay in this energy would be a real shame because, you deserve to have love in your life. And so these 2 cups standing behind him. The best thing is to pick those up, walk down the path, cross the bridge over troubled waters, go back to the castle and recuperate. And this energy, even the castle in the background here is half standing and half dilapidated. So that could talk about, is the glass or the cup half full or half empty? We do have the Magician coming in. This is an energetic upgrade after this has happened. And it's sitting on the soulmate energy and the information about the pentacles coming in. So this is talking about, bringing your thoughts from heaven down to earth and being able to manifest at a very high level. He has the infinity symbol above his head, representing 100% infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond. And here is the magical garden growing here. This is saying you can bring this energy down to grow a magical garden and add beauty to the earth. You have all the tools you need on this bench. You just need to learn how to use the tools and which tool to use in the right place. The Ouroboros around his waist here, that's a snake biting its tail. It's talking about getting out of this loop. On February 17th of 2026, we moved out of the year of the snake energy from the Chinese calendar. and we moved into the energy of the fiery horse energy. And so the snake energy, this is the Ouroboros, is talking about shedding your skin and letting go of something that no longer works for you. Turning towards the new instead of hanging on tightly to the old. And that might be part of the reason why you're caught in this loop, is torn between moving forward and staying where you are. But the rebel with a cause is here now. So this is talking about forward movement with enthusiasm as well. Now, the Knight of Wands would work for the King of Wands and Queen of Wands. And this is information coming in from the or some form of communication, and it's talking about passion. We have, this is the element of fire, and it's represented by the wooden wand, and this is talking about taking passionate action. The wand is also representing like the tree, where we have the strong roots of the ancestors, and then these offshoots represent the descendants. And he has this big plume on the back of his helmet, saying that he could have a temper and has been impulsive in the past for sure, but he's learned to rein in his emotions and rein in, that's this horse. And so the horse is talking about heartfelt energy and a drive for passion, and also about really high level enthusiasm and ambition for projects. And you can see the pyramids in the background here. This is the love of the knowledge, that this is Sagittarius energy. And this is also the energy of the fiery horse energy that I was just talking about. So that's why it was coming up. It's reminding you that being impulsive in the fiery horse energy can be dangerous. Fiery horse energy, if you've ever seen a horse bolt, like a horse that gets spooked and they run, and they have the bit in their mouth, and you can't control them after that. They're going to run as far and as fast in panic as they are. And all you can do is hang on and hope that they don't run in traffic, or, do something that could really, it's very dangerous, and it's also can take you very far off your path. And so this energy is saying, rein it in, be enthusiastic, but rein it in. And it's also talking about, be careful that you don't set your ambitious goals so high that you don't give yourself enough time to accomplish what you want to accomplish in a fair amount of time, or a realistic amount of time, or you could burn yourself out, burning the candle at both ends. And then we have, like in this energy here, like sometimes this can talk about depression or boredom. It can also talk about, waking up in the middle of the night to a never-ending nightmare. Every night, the same dream. And that's how you feel your life is. It's just a cycle, the same thing happening day after day after day. And you're trying, like it's starting to really get to you. Or sometimes this can represent having a dream and you're trying to remember it because in your dream you've been praying and meditating and quieting the mind, and now you're being able to hear your intuition. You're able to hear the Holy Spirit saying, okay, take these steps of action and you'll be able to move forward in where you want to go. This is, the universe has you covered. There's cosmic symbols on this quilt, but you're going to have to get out of bed and leave your comfort zone. Also, something I noticed here is there's people fighting with swords carved into this bed frame. If you happen to have energy like that around underneath your bed, like, a lot of people probably don't have a bed frame carved with people fighting each other with swords. It's not a great idea if you want to get a good night's sleep. But a lot of times people store things under their bed. So think about what is maybe stored under your bed, because that could be causing, you're sleeping on it, right? And so just take a look under there in case maybe there's something from your past or something happening there, because we are talking about sibling rivalry here. And then we have the Eight of Swords. So these cards quite often come out together because this is talking about, this being caught in this loop, this snake energy. And it's talking about feeling like you're in a mental prison because you have the thoughts. And see, now here we have 9 thoughts, and now we have 8 here. And this is, I feel like this is really talking about, she's put these thoughts behind her now. And she's getting ready to move forward. Like, this is a mental prison, but it's actually of her own making. She feels duty bound to something, to hanging on to something, that isn't benefiting her anymore. And quite often this can be people and things that you love to do and be that you have to let go of if you want to make this move forward. And you notice here that we do have the city in that, or her palace in the background, and her back is to it. And I feel that she has put these 7 thoughts behind her, and this is the one she's going to take action on. She has her right foot forward now, which is talking about taking action, and it's on dry land. And then she has this one still in a puddle. So in tarot, the water represents emotion, and I feel when she started there was way more emotion here. And like the rebel, with the cause, she's getting past the emotional aspect of it and making, she's, okay, this is the decision I'm going to make. And I feel that she's going to cut herself free and pull that blindfold off and move forward. Take a look at what she doesn't want to look at, get it over with. And then we have another page coming in here. So that's already, we have 3 pages, and this one's talking about passion. So this gives her passion. This is the energy of, okay, now you've been through this, but you've been looking for an energetic upgrade. So you've been really, meditating and praying and quieting your mind down so that you can feel, what is it I want in my heart? And starting to have passion to move forward. And now, I feel this is representing dreams that you're having, and finally, like these are, you're like, you're getting it. You're understanding what the universe and God are trying to show you, and you're ready to move forward. And now this is being in this more optimistic energy. So that there could be some sort of information coming in, and I feel that could be represented right here, because this is God's judgment. So this could be on the spiritual and the physical realm. Something's coming in about something that happened when you were younger, because the ancestors here are involved in this judgment. And there's a lot of this energy of around, like, someone around 20 years old and younger, like down to like 7 to 21 energy. Or this sometimes could represent someone that maybe you haven't seen for 7 years or 14 years or 21 years. In that scope. So the Page of Wands he's got the feather in his cap. He's dressed to the nines, and you notice here now, this is actually the same person, because the pages, if they, were still there when they turned 21 and they could afford a horse, could be knighted. And so this is talking about the Page of Wands, young and now old. And so this is talking about even being in more youthful energy, more optimistic. Here, the rebel with a cause is charging forward more as an adult. And here it's talking about that youthful exuberance that he used to have. You see how he has already explored the pyramids? They're way closer to him here. Now he's looking for another adventure, and more back in this energy of when he was younger and more optimistic. So that definitely could be pointing out your energy, because and it being also that it came up that it's the fiery horse energy, and we'll be in that energy until February 6th of 2027. So that's, I feel that's saying it's here you're charging forward out of necessity, and here you're charging forward out of optimism, if that makes sense. One thing you need to watch about the Page of Wands, because this could, we have a cup of love here and we do have passion. So he might be, look how much he admires his wand. He's looking up to it. So you have to remember that about the Page of Wands, is he has a tendency to be thinking with his little head. Think of someone, 21 and under, masculine energy, out to explore the world in every way possible. And so this can be like someone that is thinking with his little head. And when he brings in information, it could be very passionate, very exciting, feel really like, whoa, this is like, it feels so good to feel this way again. But you might want to double check the information, because sometimes he doesn't have his mind on what, on what he's thinking of, or what he should be thinking about. And then we have this energy of the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is talking about someone who definitely is on the precipice of change here. And sometimes, this energy here, maybe there has been a love offering, and this soulmate energy is far, far away, like across the waters, or like on a distant horizon. And he's standing on the precipice of change here, and he is looking like about this. Quite often can talk about changing locations, leaving. Sometimes this can be like leaving a relationship that you're in and moving forward with a different one, as a single person, and moving forward in that energy. So this could be representing, perhaps there was some sort of energy, here where at some point there was a third party energy in your relationship. You walked away from that, and now you're moving towards this new energy. And maybe that's when the soulmate energy comes in. Sometimes this card can represent something fishy is going on in your love life, if you leave a fish out of water too long, it starts to stink. So there could have been, and this energy here, one of these three here, could be someone in your inner circle. It could even be a family member was involved in this third party energy. And it can represent a lot of gossip and slander, and maybe you've just decided, you know what, I'm going to let go of this this energy of like the people, my castle, all of that. I'm ready to move forward. And sometimes these swords can represent the energy of someone who, the thoughts of people behind your back. And so you might be deciding, you know what, I'm just going to change location, or I'm going to go traveling for a while and have a vacation. Perhaps this pentacle energy coming in is telling you that you have money coming towards you. And we have, yes, because, this card quite often comes up when, look at, he's got his back to the city, just like she has her back to the castle here. And so this energy definitely can be talking about leaving the city or leaving where you're at to go somewhere else. You have a strong foundation. You don't have a whole lot of pentacles, and that could be like if there was a divorce or something here, because there was something stinky in your relationship and you've moved on now and you're not a couple anymore, you're single, then this can be talking about actually having had to, divide your assets with whoever this relationship was with. And so now you can pay your bills, but you've received the money, I feel, is what's coming up. So this is talking about a strong foundation. This card is actually talking about 3 levels of making money. It's talking about having a strong foundation. This is about your heart's desires, and this is about crown and glory. So perhaps you had property or something like that, and you divided it, and now instead of, you have the more of a cash flow to go explore, maybe go on a vacation, or maybe go check out somewhere else that you want to live. And maybe that's when the soulmate energy shows up. Or maybe you've already met this person and you're going to where they live because it's better than where you used to live. And you don't want to be there anymore anyway because of what happened. Yeah, this is the discernment of the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is talking about, she's one of 4 queens in the tarot and in the minor arcana, and she is considered to be the coldest. That little bird in the background there represent that she's independent. It can say someone who's divorced. So I feel that's the energy that's happened here. And it's been, okay, now I'm moving forward. This is, what is happening, the obstacles you have to face, the courage to move forward. And now we're getting into our heart's desires. So she is considered cold, but it's because she's been there, she's done that, she has the t-shirt, she's not willing to put up with any bullshit. Look at, she has her right hand out and she's willing to receive, but she is not in the mood for any bullshit. And it's with her right, she's got that sword in her right hand, and she's like, off with your head. She longs for those days. When, you know, if someone came in with bullshit, you just shut them right up right there. She's not in the mood. So she's not easy to approach at this time, but she does have her head above the clouds, and she is in the mood for, you know, she has clarity about what she will and will not tolerate in her life now, and a much better idea of what she wants. And she's had the courage to face it and decide, okay, this is, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to take this leap of faith and go into maybe sell, you know, the home where I'm at now, my castle, and I'm going to leave the friends and family and the inner circle I had, and I'm just going to move forward and strike out independent. And this is after this night. This can also feel like a need to want to isolate herself now that, like, there could have been a lot, like if this is a divorce and they were dividing assets and making all of these decisions in the 3D, that now she just wants to go somewhere quiet and maybe take a quiet vacation on her own so that she can isolate herself. I mean, that's what the hermit energy is. It's after a dark night of the soul when your foundation has been shaken and you're not sure of who you are anymore. You're trying to find your feet again. That the hermit climbs the mountain, and when his lantern gets full of the light of the North Star, he goes up to the top of the mountain so no one will bother him, because a lot of people won't climb mountains. And so he's, once he has the light of the North Star, that represents the energy of, okay, it's time to take action and get back out there again. So I feel like this could be talking about you taking a vacation after all of this happens, or just going somewhere that you can be on your own, and then before moving forward. Yeah, because you're still, it's this energy here is representing having a bit of a closed mind still protecting your heart, feeling vulnerable. This is, the body language says it. You might have gone to a vacation somewhere where there's the ocean, which is a really good idea. When you hear the waves coming in and going out, it's very soothing. And quite often this talks about having a closed mind, but sometimes it can talk about, with the blindfold here, like not wanting to see with your eyes, and but wanting to see with your third eye, like really tuning into your intuition. And the swords are up because you don't want to be bothered. You don't want to be talking to people. You want to be able to reach the Most High and the universal energy, and really find out, okay, is this the move that I want to make? Or, where do I want to go with this? Because it can sometimes, maybe this is a decision of, we have some body language happening here. With the feet turned out like this, it's talking about leaking energy. And it's like trying to regain that. It's from the base chakra, which is about your survival in the world. So divorce and dividing assets, and finding out maybe that your inner circle was gossiping and slandering you while this was going on. This could even represent sibling rivalry, because we have that here. It could be like the love interest was actually involved with someone in your inner circle. And it's kind of like this feeling of just really feeling vulnerable, not wanting to talk to people from the past, and wanting to just be on your own. And it's also saying, we have the arms crossed over the heart represents the heart is vulnerable right now. And we have the right arm holding the left arm back. So this is trying to be very logical, because, you have half the assets and, all of that energy. But you need to let your intuition come through. And so that's what this is talking about, this or that or this, my way or the highway. It's that sort of energy, like, is this a good idea to do it this way, or should I be making a different decision? And we have the new moon in the background, and we have a new moon tonight as I'm reading this. So when you're listening to this tomorrow, and it's talking exactly about that, the Gemini, Sagittarius, should I use my logic or intuition? The answer is use both for creative solutions. And then we have, having the courage to make the move forward. I feel like you already know what you want to do. You're just not sure whether, maybe you don't trust yourself as much as you used to because of everything that's happened here. But really, this energy is saying that you've had a lot of strength. The strength card is talking about facing your shadow side and digging deep to do so. And you've done some of that inner work here for sure, and made strong decisions based on what you feel is what you need to do. And this is talking about digging deep into this lion, like digging deep into your fears, and that's what this lion represents. She is, she's got her hand in this lion's mouth, and that is very dangerous. It's a mature adult male lion. I mean, but it's being submissive and has its tail tucked under, because this represents her fear. And she's proving to herself that she can face her fears and she can be independent and move forward on her own. If you're traveling sometimes, though, you have to be careful. There are some countries out there where, it's really just not safe for women to travel on their own. I mean, it is probably like that for men as well. At times it's always better to have someone you have trust, but if you don't trust your inner circle, then maybe you are better off on your own. So it's, make sure you're safe in this, digging deep into your fears and letting them go, but being reasonable about it at the same time. I'm just picking that up. I'm just, as someone who has traveled, there's just some places in the world that it would be very dangerous to go without a male companion in particular. Like sometimes it can't just be another female. It needs to be a male, just because of the cultures and that. So you have to be careful that way. And I mean, if you you have to find someone to take with you, even that wants to go on that vacation, then do so. If hey, do you want to go on a vacation? I'll pay for it because I want to go there, but I know I can't go on my own. It's not safe to travel there on my own. And then we have this energy of the Queen of, the Queen of Pentacles energy. She is known to be very resourceful, and she can make something out of nothing, and people really admire her for that. But she comes from generational wealth. Like, this is talking about someone that has come from a legacy that's passed down from generation to generation. And she prefers quality over quantity. This is like someone who is in their, they're in the energy of generational wealth. So I always wonder what happened to her money? Why does she, I mean, yes, if you're divorced, you could see that. But if she comes from generational wealth, what happened to that generational wealth? Because I feel that has something to do with, this has been coming up in a lot of the readings, and I've been asking that question. What happened to the Queen of Pentacles lifestyle? Like, where did it go? And then we have, we went to the people that disappointed her in love. That's why it happened. So this is very, like, there you go. I just asked the question again, that's where it went. I asked directly, where did her money go? It went to the people that disappointed her in love. So that's why that's what this energy is about, I guess. We have our answer there. It's kind of disappointing, of course. This can be talking about, in matters of love, a third-party involvement. And sometimes this can even represent a child was conceived and it's not within the couple. And that could be that extra gift of love. This can also talk about, you've given someone 3 chances and they come back to you and they're saying, give me one more chance. And you're like, no way. If this is romantic love, this is a business partner, this is family members, whatever this is, it's kind of like, hey, People show you who they are the first time around, and sometimes we don't want to believe them, and we'll give them another chance. But if they, if you've been in this energy here, feeling this, and literally like feeling like this, and in regret and remorse and feeling disappointed, yeah, you don't probably need to invite that person back in. There's a soulmate wanting to come through, or this could be you totally centered on yourself coming together so that you make strong choices. So let's see. Look at that. A tower hits. Okay, so I feel like definitely this energy is talking about a tower hits. Now, towers affect everybody, but you've been doing all this work. So the tower hits these people because you left. And once your energy is gone, then who are they going to? You're like, if you look at it from the perspective, you could have been the battery, basically. I don't know how, you might not know how, but without your energy there's something they needed for you to, maybe this was a false soulmate energy coming, they were sending in so that they could still have control over this energy. But they celebrated too soon because there's a tower coming now. So in judgment, if you're on the right side of the law, whether that be physical or legal, it's going to be, the tower hits. It's uncomfortable for everyone. There could be some very uncomfortable truths coming out, and there probably already has been. This energy has been in a lot of the readings I've been doing lately. So there's something around this right now. And I do feel that it has a lot to do with the fact that Uranus is in Gemini, and Uranus in Gemini wants the truth to come out. And we haven't been in Gemini. Uranus hasn't been in Gemini since 1941 to 1949. And that was during World War II and the aftermath after it. And I feel like someone is wanting, like, what's going on here? What happened with the ancestors here? There's some pentacles that went awry. They're off. Maybe they're off on vacation, but not with you. That's the energy I'm picking up. And so the tower, when it hits, it's like when people haven't been listening to your intuition, and that's mostly what you have been doing. So I feel that you might have a pretty good idea what's happening here, but now that you're more aware, or whatever this, all these messages have been coming in, and you've been moving forward in a stronger, passionate way, and you're asking, what happened to my pentacles? Maybe now this is the kaboom where you do find out, and it's probably not going to be, it's going to be even more of the same old shift that you were going through down here, but you're not there anymore. Like you've separated yourself from this energy. So it's now karma, like judgment. God is waiting for you to get the heck out of your own way, so that, quit hanging out with these people, quit talking to these people. Don't be around these people. They're about to get their asses whipped with some karma. And if you're there with them, that could be why it's taken so long for justice to come through. If you've been waiting and waiting, and the information hasn't come through. So this is talking about, we have the Magician here, and he's pointing to that when this Page of Pentacles energy comes, you might have, this could be like you're going to have less money, but you're going to be moving away from this. Your lifestyle is going to change, but your money situation probably is going to be a bit tight because of the separation from this energy. And yeah, the best thing you can do is go inward and meditate in that. And you might have to be resourceful, but at some point, that energy is going to shift. He's pointing as above, so below. And so this is God's judgment able to come through. I feel this could be some stinky energy coming in, and it's put you in this energy. Very disappointing situation with someone that you felt you cared about, and you thought they cared about you, but really it was like this energy. And so this is taking passionate action. the rebel with the cause. But this is like feeling lighthearted again, like, okay, I've made my decision. When you're in this energy and you don't know the truth, it can be really hard to make strong decisions. And that's, when you become more independent. And this is about, recovering from this dark night of the soul and having to be resourceful, but having separated from this energy. So I feel that, whatever judgment is coming through from the Most High is on its way, definitely. I'm going to clarify this for those that want clarification. All right. Let's see what's going on here. And this is from my oracle, Tales from the Vector, and I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com. The numbers on these cards represent the 64 paintings. I started this back in 2007, and in 2020 I completed all of the paintings. And now some of them are very big dragon paintings. I've been showing some of them in my readings now. I had them brought down to small. We didn't know if we could do it because they're 3 foot by 4 foot paintings, and they had to be taken with 2 cameras because there's a lot of crystals embedded in the paintings. But they turned out pretty good. I mean, they're a little bit darker than the originals, but I'm pretty pleased with them to come from a 3 foot by 4 foot painting to this size. So this is talking about the paintings, the way they're numbered in the oracle, or in the gallery on my website, and I will put them in the information box below in the order they appear here. And then if you want to take a look, sometimes a picture can paint 1,000 words. Maybe it'll give you further clarity. Definitely saying use your intuition, follow your North Star, get on your journey, get away from this stinky energy. There's new love coming in, possibly, or this could be talking, even this was someone trying to pretend that they were your soulmate, degrading your energy, and the ancestors are not happy about this. This is not the energy that you're supposed to be in. There's something not right here. Yay, finally, the trumpet is blowing. We have attachment. I just did a random shift reading about attachment, and that was what came up. And this is the mother of all karmic spaces, because if you become attached to someone or something or a specific outcome, then it can be like that can cause you to fall into more karmic spaces because you want to keep it. And basically, look what it says: what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. And this is right on. It's right on this energy here of the soulmate energy. So this could have been someone coming in, or that was sent in to pretend they were your soulmate, so that they could attach themselves to your energy and gather information for the group. The Hierophant is here though, and this is talking about bringing God's judgment here down to earth, and on a spiritual level as well as on a physical level. We have the shooting star energy. This is this base chakra energy here that I was talking about, the leaking of that. Because if you wish upon a shooting star, and then you just sit there and you're like 2 years later, you're still sitting, like under that tree or standing here. Whoa, you're not, why hasn't anything happened? Well, because you haven't moved. If you want a strong future, you need to participate in it. So if you're wishing for something, it means you don't have it. You could be highly favored to have it, but it's talking about having to apply yourself and have a good attitude. And then we have the Gemini energy coming in. I feel definitely this is talking about the Uranus in Gemini. Uranus in Gemini is a pain in the butt for people that have been, been breaking spiritual and law and the laws of the land, basically. And this card can talk about a physical prison as well as a mental prison, like actual prison. And it's sitting right here on Judgment. So. When horoscope signs come into my readings, I'm not talking about specific people. I'm talking about the energy of that sign. And I feel like this is coming in because tonight we have the Gemini new moon, and we also have this Uranus pain in the butt for people who don't want the truth to come out. So dance around the moon, continue your gossip and slander. They're just jealous because that's not the energy they're in. And we have the Empress, which is the generator. So this is sitting on this energy of all. What this is basically saying is, this is really, when you go through a lot, like this energy is showing here, and you go inward and you face your shadow side and you face your fears and you do the meditating and the praying, and you really figure out, you know, your part in it, and what do you really want now? Like, what are your authentic desires, and are you going to go after that? Are you going to have the courage to? All of that raises your vibration to, in the tarot, the Empress represents all four queens rolled into one. She's managed to keep, not just survive, but thrive through the energy. Eventually she comes out and she is way stronger, and would never have been this strong without this energy coming towards her. And you notice there's the 3 here. And we have judgment again. So it's just, this is the cosmic judgment, God's judgment. This is talking about, really, God's the only one that's really able to judge people clearly. You know, because we don't know what has happened to other people. Like, look at, if in our subconscious mind, we might not even know what happened to us. So how are we going to know what happened to someone else? So it's not condoning actions or whatever, but when you forgive someone, it's like, it's allowing your heart to heal. And it doesn't mean you ever have to talk to them again. You don't even have to tell them that you forgive them, but it's handing it back to them. Like the shame and degradation doesn't belong to you, even though you might feel that because maybe everybody's been talking and you're embarrassed, or that type of energy. Giselle Pellico, she was from France, and she went through this horrendous trial with a situation where she was, her ex-husband now, he's in prison. He went out of his way to degrade her in many, many ways that you just would never believe it. And she said this, she had the opportunity to not go to court and, you know, or to have it advertised. And she said, no, I want to stand up for all the other people out here that have, she had been actually given sleepy, you know, whatever ingredient, and representing this energy here so that he could take advantage of her and let others do so as well. So it was like, and she insisted on having a trial so that she could, she didn't want to be feeling the one that, she didn't feel that she wanted to be the one that was feeling the shame. She felt it should be handed to the people who should be feeling the shame. And so she sat through court, and you know, a lot of people really consider her a hero because of it. It took a lot of courage to do that. And it really shed a lot of light on some of the, you know, the wild things that are happening out there that you just would think, what? And that's the kind of truths that are coming out. So a mother's worry, I just feel this card's been coming in a lot. And I do feel it's because of this energy of, you know, there's a lot going on in the planet. And it's kind of like towards the beginning of the year when all the files came out, we all felt like we had the rug pulled out from underneath us in many ways. And it's just like every day, it's like another thing coming out, and you're just like, whoa. Like the way that this truth is coming out with Gemini, it's really kind of weird energy sometimes. Like the truth comes out, and it's a weird truth, and it comes out in a weird way. And we also have the Scorpio energy, which is talking about uniting people. So rather than trying to conquer other people and saying, hey, what's yours is mine, and what's mine is my own. Like, it's about, instead of trying to conquer, uniting, elevating people with your words and your actions. That's, you know, that's Scorpio at its finest. And then we have the Cancer energy. I do feel this is because tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Oh, it was yesterday. Venus moved into the sign of Leo. So Venus was in the sign of Cancer. Jupiter had been there, and the two of them were together for that on June 9th. And a lot of astrologers were saying that's the luckiest day in the year for love and money. So, and it's sitting on this tower. So I feel like, these are big planets and there's a lot of energy. So things don't happen exactly on the day, but focus on moving forward in that energy of having good fortune coming towards you. If there's a tower, let the people who created the tower, let them be the ones to take the hit rather than you doing it for them or protecting them in some way, because it's your turn to like move forward now in a strong way, and then the truth really will be able to come out. So that's all like, this, I think it's been 30 some years since Venus and Jupiter came together in for that one, like that short period of time. That is, some astrologers were saying the luckiest day for love and money and of the year, and some were saying of the decade. So, don't despair if something didn't happen exactly on that date. Just keep your energy moving towards that. Hey, the opportunity is there. You have to put your own spin on it, right? Like here. Don't be so attached to how things have to happen. Just allow the universe to let it happen. All right. I do hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for your time and energy. Any likes and comments and subscribes, I really appreciate them. It helps me build my channel. I'll be back with another reading for you again tomorrow. Bye for now.